what's up, guys? One of the biggest secrets when we talk about guitar, blues, and improvisation is a very simple thing. And you can hear all the masters play it all the time. If you listen to Jimi Hendrix in this clip here, he does it. If you listen to Stevie Ray. So what I'm going to show you is super simple, very effective, and you can use it right now. If you want to get the most out of this lesson, check out the Patreon. There's a full transcription with PDF and notation. There's also 1 week free on my Patreon right now, so you can check that out. And thank you. When we're playing the pentatonic, when we're improvising and soloing, we can think about the notes in relationship to one another. If this is the note A, I'm thinking about these sounds as relationship between one another. So this is A, this is 1, this would be the 7, this would be the 5, the 4, the flat 3, and the 1, which gives us the pentatonic scale. That sound that we know so very well. Now, the interesting thing is that a lot of people are not really aware of the sounds in terms of relationship. They kind of play the positions and they play it again and again, and they ask themselves why they're kind of stuck with it. Now, a lot of times the answer is you don't really listen. So I want to fix that right now. The first thing we're going to do is locate the flat 7, which is a very, very important note that people often disregard. You'll play the pentatonic and play kind of lines of this nature. But actually what's happening here is I'm playing a lot of this flat 7 and being aware of the tension between the 1 and the flat 7 is the goal. Now, this is a very important thing because it also gives us the motion harmonically speaking. So oftentimes when we're playing the blues, we shift between A7 or this A7 to the D7, the 4 chord. So this sound, the flat 7, is basically the tension point that leads us to the resolution of the 4. This flat 7 here is resolved half step down to the 3 of the 4 chord. Now, let me explain first. So we have the note A. We all agree we were playing the pentatonic scale, blues in A. But where is that flat 7 and what is that flat 7? So first of all, flat 7 is very simple, counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. So I just played A7 scale, A dominant, and then flat 7 is the note G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now the question is, where is that flat 7 on the board and how can I find it? Well, so we can look at the notes that we actually play. So we know that this chord is G. So that means that also this note here is G and this note is G. So that is the flat 7. That means that when I'm playing a line, I can actually hang on that flat 7, and knowing that that's a flat 7 is a big deal because when I'm improvising and creating, I can imagine that color, that sound, and aim my lines there. So again, first step here is understanding where our G is. So we have an open G, we have this G on the 3rd fret, and of course also the 3rd fret from the E string on the top note here. We have the G here and we have the G here. This is, again, we have a few more G's around the guitar that we can locate, but we can start with these couple of G's. Okay, so we know where the G is. Open G, 3, 3, here and here. Okay, again, a good first step. One more thing to mention about the 7 is it's sort of like a rubber band. You can think about the 7 either going up from the flat 7 here to the 1 or that kind of resolution, or the flat 7 will be resolved downward to the 4 chord. So that 7 resolves here to the 4 chord. A lot of options. The point is that it's a very strong movement that moves the harmony forward. We know where the flat 7 is, but let's make sure we hear it. Na, and that tension between the root, the A, la, and the flat 7 is what we're talking about. La. Just playing the different options of the note G in relationship to that. Again, a big deal in that process is listening and making sure we pay attention to the color and hear it as clearly as possible. Cool. So we understand what is the flat 7. We understand where it is. But how do we actually use it? Well, so a really good thing is to try and play lines that end with that flat 7. So for example, I'll start a line, then I'll go to the flat 7. Now, if you feel that line, I'll try to play this line again. I'm ending my line on the flat 7, which gives it a lot of tension. You kind of feel it's like a cliffhanger in a way, right? So again, I'm having this idea. Right, and something needs to happen. It might go here. It might go here to the 4th chord, but something needs to happen, so it's unresolved. And that tension creates motion. Basically, when we hear music, the way I see it, we have these kind of tension and release moments, harmonically, rhythmically, and melodically, and a lot of times they're all intertwined. So this flat 7 leads us here oftentimes. And I'm going here to that 4 chord. I'll give another option. What I just did was articulating the chord A major, and I ended again the line on the flat 7, which kind of is a call for tension. That's not the case. I didn't resolve it. I played, which gives it a lot of flavor and beautiful kind of sound. Now you can also bend it, so you can go to the 6th and bend it to the flat 7, which gives it even more flavor because I'm kind of playing on that idea of the 6th and to the flat 7, and I can play on that microtonal sound. And again, I ended on the flat 7. This is basically A7 with the 7 in the bass, and then oftentimes that will be resolved to D major 1st inversion. That sound is a very moving sound. One of the cool things we can do is take the minor pentatonic, the A minor scale, on one string, sliding with one finger. So I'm getting this kind of nice sound. It's not a slide guitar, but it has the resemblance a little bit of that sound and color, which I really like. I mean, of course, there are masters of this style, and I'm not intending to try and copy these guys. But what I'm saying is that we can still use our technique to create different sounds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ascend. I'm going to go up, basically scale-wise, to hit that flat 7 using that kind of sound. Very simple, right? I'm just playing the scale, but I'm imagining the flat 7, that sound on the top, and I'm trying to aim the phrase there. And it has a lot of intention. I'll do that one more time, and I'll bend the 6 to that flat 7. Another example, I can do the same thing with the open G string. I'm starting in this case on the G, so I'm starting with the tension and I resolve it to the 1. Then I'm repeating that G again, right? And I'm resolving that tension at the end. One more time. I can play with the notes around the scale, around the pentatonic, to create that tension and release. I'll also try to end the phrase again on that G, but now on the E string. So I'll play a lot of the scale itself. One more time. What I did basically was playing the A minor pentatonic on that E string, going up, ascending, creating tension to that G, and then from there it's sort of like a ramp to create another phrase to release that tension. Right, so that happened twice now. I was ascending the scale, to the G, resolve it with some phrase, continue that phrase, and then maybe again G, and then resolve. So the game here a little bit is this arc of tension and resolution where I'm playing and using consciously the sound color of the flat 7 as a color, as an intention place of tension that will be later on resolved. So try it. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. Thank you so much for hanging out. It means a lot. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out. Hello. So about Eden, actually this week, last 5 days were kind of great. He started even saying mumbling some words or random kind of sounds that he didn't make before. He was way more active. It took quite a while to recover from round 2. It was kind of tough, but he's doing great now. So it's really nice to see him super smiley and active and playing. That's really, really fun. We just started round 3 yesterday, so we were expected that in a couple of days he will have again a deep, and that will be probably also kind of harsh because round 3 is even more intense, where basically it's 2 days of chemo, 2 days of rest, and then he gets his stem cell rescue. And the stem cells basically keeps him alive, because without the stem cells, the chemo is so strong he would basically die from the toxicity. So again, it's kind of scary and all these things naturally, but he's doing well so far. We're hopeful, and that is the update. Thanks again for hanging out. It means a lot, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.